As we begin today's ceremony, I wish to make an announcement about safety precautions. Exits are located behind the seating area on each side of the building and directly behind the seats on the floor through the tunnel. In case of emergency, please walk, do not run to the nearest exit. Also, as a courtesy to the graduates and those around you, please turn off all cell phones and pagers or set them to silent mode. Thank you.
The University of Maryland is pleased to present the class of 2017. Shu-Ping Yang, our 2017 commencement student speaker, is leading the procession with the University Gonfalon. She is followed by Marshals Dr. Marsha Gwensler-Stevens and Dr. Robert Infantino. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the senior marshals. Holding the gonfalon for the Philip Merrill College of Journalism, Lauren Fraunberger. Holding the gonfalon for the College of Arts and Humanities, Monica Albizo. Holding the gonfalon for the Office of Undergraduate Studies, Irene Solomon. Holding the gonfalon for the College of Information Studies, Brittany Rose. Holding the gonfalon for the School of Public Health, Carly Hanft. Holding the gonfalon for the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Jonathan Cohen. Holding the gonfalon for the School of Public Policy, Trevor Gibson. Holding the gonfalon for the College of Behavioral and Social Sciences, Catherine Haviland. Holding the gonfalon for the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation, Kayla Tarrant. Carrying the gonfalon for the A. James Clark School of Engineering, Michelle Solomon. Carrying the gonfalon for the College of Education, Anna Turetsky. Carrying the gonfalon of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences, Gabrielle Welsh. Carrying the gonfalon for the Robert H. Smith School of Business, Mimi Verdonk. Carrying the gonfalon for the graduate school, Connor Berger. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the senior marshals. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Golden Terps. They graduated from the University of Maryland 50 years ago and have returned this morning to join the celebration. Welcome back to your alma mater, Golden Terps. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the ROTC commanders, athletic coaches, faculty, and staff. ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the platform party for your 2017 Spring Commencement. Ladies and gentlemen, presiding over these exercises is Dr. Wallace Lowe, President of the University of Maryland.
Good afternoon. Before we begin the 2017 Spring Commencement exercises of the University of Maryland, I would like to ask all of you to join me and all Terps everywhere, including those who are not at Xfinity Center, to join us in a moment of silence to mourn and to honor a young man, a Bowie State University student who lost his life in a senseless and unprovoked assault on our campus yesterday morning. On behalf of the entire University of Maryland community, I want to express our profound sorrow and anguish for this horrific tragedy. We are all in shock that a young man so full of promise should have his life cut short so suddenly when he had so much before him to contribute to our world. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and his friends, and with the entire Bowie State University community. So I would like to ask if you would please rise. Bow your heads and let us join in a moment of silence. In the words of the psalmist, we lift our eyes unto the hills, from whence comes our help. May this student rest in heaven, now and evermore. Thank you, and please be seated. Commencement marks the start of a new chapter in the lives of our graduates. This ceremony is joyous, but it's also a wistful farewell spoken in words of endearment by the university to our graduates and by the graduates to their alma mater. We will begin with a moment of reflection delivered by Rabbi Ari Israel, the University of Maryland chaplain, from Maryland Hillel. By the way, the largest Hillel of its kind in the United States. Am I correct, Rabbi? His remarks will be followed by the singing of the national anthem led by Raha Mir Sadigon. Raha is a soprano. She's graduating this year with a Bachelor's of Music in Voice Performance, and she is joining next year. She's going to get the master's degree from the Maryland Opera Studio, the finest opera studio of its kind in the United States. Where are you? And her singing will be accompanied, our singing of the national anthem will be accompanied by the Maryland Wind Ensemble led by the Assistant Director of Bands, Craig Potter. So please remain standing for the moment of reflection and for the singing of our national anthem.
Thank you, President Lowe, for your encouraging and inspiring words. The following paragraph has been adapted from Sir Jonathan Sacks' book, A Letter in a Scroll. Class of 2017, imagine you're still in McKeldin Library. Just imagine. But this time, instead of studying or socializing, you are just there to browse the shelves. I know, stay with me. In every direction, there are bookcases. Each has shelves stretching from floor to ceiling, and each shelf is full of books. You're surrounded by the recorded thoughts of many people, some great, some less so. And you can reach out and take any book you wish. All you have to do is choose. You begin to read. And for a while, you are immersed in the world, real or imaginary, of the writer. Now imagine that while browsing in that library, you come across one book, unlike the rest, which catches your eye, because on its spine is written the name of your family. Intrigued, you open it and see many pages written by different hands in many languages. You start reading and gradually understand what it is. It's a story each generation of your ancestors has told for the sake of the next, so that everyone born into this family can learn where they came from, what happened to them, what they lived for, and why. As you turn the pages, you reach the last, which is a blank except for a Testudo logo, which bears your name. This book of life that your past and present have helped shape will help you leave Maryland embarking upon your future into a world that needs your hope, energy, and inspiration to move us all forward in this period of global uncertainty, into a world with senseless violence like what tragic took place on campus, as our thoughts and prayers go out to the Bowie State family, friends, and community. May we only pursue peace and blessings for all. Today, we celebrate a terrific, well-earned accomplishment of graduation. Let us join in this moment of reflective gratitude with all of the family members, professors, and university staff who preceded and remain such a vital part of your own page in your library life storybook. May God help provide guidance that enables you, graduates of 2017, to continue to learn from the stories of others while enabling you to write your own page with the tools of knowledge, critical thinking, and lifelong community that this great university has instilled within you. May your life ahead be filled with health and happiness, and in turn inspire others to read your story, motivating others to write their own. And together, let us all be uplifted, and let us say, Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Thank you, Rabbi Israel, for your very thoughtful words of reflection. And thank you, Raha, for your inspired rendition of the national anthem. You have what can only be described as a heavenly voice. And you know I take students to the Maryland Studio Opera, so I'm going to take students to watch you perform next year. Yes. And thank you to the University of Maryland Wind Ensemble. Seated on the front rows are students who are serving as marshals this afternoon. And they were selected by a committee based upon their academic accomplishments and their contributions to campus life. Will the student marshals please stand so we can thank you for your service? You may sit down. We have 8,000 faculty and staff on this campus. They are the lifeblood of this institution. They carry out the missions of education and research and advising and mentoring and operating the infrastructure of this institution. Several of them, or many of them, are here, seated in the front rows. So to all the faculty, the emeriti faculty, the athletic coaches, the ROTC commanders, faculty marshals, and staff, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. And we have a very special group of alumni who are marching with us today, the Golden Terps, who graduated 50 years ago. Please stand. Thank you. So, 50 years ago, 1967. And through this half a century, through your accomplishments, through your support of your alma mater, the University of Maryland is the great public research university that it is today. But you, the class of 1967, have actually something in common with the graduating class today of 2017. Because 50 years ago, you enter a world that seemed about to unravel. Tens of thousands of protesters, hundreds of thousands of protesters march on the streets of America, from the East Coast to the West Coast, protesting the Vietnam War. Dozens of major cities across the country were engulfed in uprising and unrest, and hundreds of National Guard members had to be called in to provide for safety. And around the world, war broke out in the Middle East, the Yom Kippur War. But the reason I mentioned what happened in 1967 is our country not only survived but thrived in these 50 years, and it's because of members of your generation, the leadership you provided, your engagement as citizens in upholding the values that this country stands for and contributing to its progress, that we are where we are today. And I think the message that you bring to the class of 2017 at a time when there is great polarization, division in this country and abroad, when these are truly fraught times, I think you convey a message of hope and confidence, that we have hope in the next generation, that America will remain strong, that our values of excellence, of freedom of the press, of fact-based science, of inclusion and diversity. These are the values that have made America. We are continually a nation that's in the process of forming a more perfect union. And I have every confidence that the class of 2017 will contribute to the greatness of America that you, the class of 1967, did. Thank you for your help. So we're here to celebrate joyously the graduation of our students. And of course, as I looked at the program, I see that we have a number of speakers. And so I'm reminded what a good friend of mine, an Irish priest, once advised me about speeches at commencement. He said, just remember that a speaker at commencement is like the body at an old-fashioned Irish wake. They need the body to have a party, but nobody expects it to say very much. I get the message. I will be mercifully brief, as will all the other speakers on the platform. Our first speaker is Mr. Louis Pope. He is a business and community leader in the state. He is a Terp through and through. He graduated with a degree in finance at our business school. He has 2 children who graduated from the University of Maryland. Terp genes run in his family, and he is a member of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents. Regent Pope.
Well, I'll do my best to imitate that dead body. Good afternoon, everybody, and I'm pleased to be here with you today, both to congratulate you on behalf of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents, and as President Lowe just said, as a proud Terrapin myself. You know, it's an honor to share this day with President Wallace Lowe, who continues to be a tremendous leader of this wonderful institution. The University of Maryland is a force for education, for research, for discovery, for public service, and it represents what is best about higher education in this country, and today stands as one of the finest universities in the nation as well as the world. And there's so much to be proud of right here in this neighborhood, especially with the revitalized College Park and the surrounding neighborhoods, and we hope that many of you will stay and enrich this community. Because Maryland is a wonderful state. We have the highest per capita income in the country. And our statistics show that 80% of our graduates will stay and work and become part of the economic engine that continues to improve this state. So we encourage you to do the same, because it is a wonderful place to both work and play and start your career, and for many of you, start your family. I'm also pleased today to share this day with your commencement speaker, Mark Chardy. And as you'll hear in a few minutes, Mark is a former professional baseball player. He finished and graduated here in 1983, and after baseball, he went on and became CEO of Apex Entertainment and produces blockbuster sports movies. So it sounds like 2 incredibly impossible dreams in his career that have come true, and I look forward to his address as you do. But most importantly, it's an honor to be here to recognize you and congratulate you, the members of the class of 2017. For what you have accomplished has taken hard work, persistence, and dedication. President Lowe mentioned a few minutes ago that I too was a Terp. I graduated from here in 1974, 43 years ago, and I sat in the same graduation ceremony except in Cole Fieldhouse, wondering where life would take me. And I have to tell you, if you apply yourself, life will take you far, and you will do just fine. I also have to tell you that if I was applying to this university today, they would have rejected me outright. And I'm sure many of your parents sitting in the audience will say the same thing, because today you need to have 1,400 on your SATs, and you had to actually work in high school and get a 3.5 or better to get in here, and many of you more. So it's kind of a joke between the members of the Board of Regents, because most of us who went to Maryland say, hell, they wouldn't let us in here at all. But thank God they did. But I encourage you to not only select a career, but to give time back to the community by joining service clubs and organizations and mentoring those in need. Those volunteer efforts will pay back rewards many, many, many fold, and have enriched my life, and I'm sure they'll enrich yours. Today, we celebrate the completion of your journey for many of you, and for others, a continuation as you move on to other graduate programs. But in either case, congratulations. And as we share this day with your family and friends, I want you to celebrate, because your family and friends have shared in your sacrifice, and they certainly share in your success today and in the future. So no matter what direction your life takes, no matter what challenges you confront next, know that your education here has prepared you well. Once again, congratulations to all of you, and know that the entire University of Maryland system family wishes you all the best in the years to come. Enjoy the day. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Regent Pope. Thank you for your remarks. Thank you and the entire board for for your continuing support of the flagship university of the state of Maryland. And since you brought it up, I have to make a confession as well. If I were applying for admission as a freshman today, I probably would not be admitted either. I am simply relieved that the standards for hiring a new president are lower than the standards for admitting a freshman. I would like to introduce some of the members of the platform party who are seated behind me, and I would ask that you please hold your applause. I will call each name, they will stand up, and don't applaud until we're done with all of them, or else we'll be here until 5 o'clock this afternoon. The Vice Presidents: Marianne Ranking, Senior Vice President and Provost, and a biologist. Carlo Colella, Vice President for Administration and Finance, a TERP, and a civil engineer. Eric Denna, Vice President for Information Technology, obviously a computer nerd. Amitabh Varshney, Interim Vice President for Research, another computer scientist, specialist in virtual reality and augmented reality, and that's the reality that he lives in, not in the real reality that we're in. Mike Poderella, Vice President for Legal Affairs. You should know, because he's a lawyer and I'm a lawyer, he's the real lawyer. Me, I'm a public interest lawyer. That means it's in the public interest that I don't practice law. Kevin Anderson, Director of Athletics. And you all know Raha already. She performed the national anthem. Martha Nell Smith, Professor of English, who is the University Marshal, and she is a renowned scholar in the poetry of Emily Dickinson. And the rumors are that I hear in the English department is that she can recite by memory all 1,789 poems of Emily Dickinson. Catherine Swanson, the president of our student government. She's from somewhere in Texas. I think it's Fort Worth, Houston, it's all the same thing, it's down in Texas. But she's been an incredible president of student government. She led the passage of the most amount of legislation by student government since it was founded. So thank you for your service. I know you're going off to Boston to work for a not-for-profit. And then we have Sinha Sahu, a representative of graduate student government. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Thank you for your service. Wanda Alexander, president of the Maryland Alumni Association. She oversees the 350,000 TERP alumni around the world. Amy Eichhorst, executive director of our Alumni Association. Jordan Goodman, he's the chair of the University Senate and distinguished university professor of physics. And our University Marshals, Marcia Gensler-Stevens, who's also the director of Stamp Union, and Bob Infantino. And finally, would all the deans stand up in unison because they will introduce themselves individually later. So please join me in a round of applause for all of them. Thank you. The highest honor that the University of Maryland bestows to one only undergraduate each year is the University Medal. And it is awarded to the graduating senior who personifies the values of this institution: academic excellence, extraordinary character, and also exceptional service. I'm going to introduce to you the finalists. It's really unfortunate that we have to choose one among so many, but we have to. But we have all these finalists. They're all incredibly talented. We're so proud of them, and I will introduce all of them. They all have incredible academic records, but they also have service. And the reason I mention that, because providing service, giving back, making a difference, helping others, is basically citizenship in action. Being an American is not a spectator sport. Being an American is to be involved in the life of our communities to make a difference, and they do. Because getting involved is the rent that we pay to live in a free society. And that's why we have the Do Good Institute on this campus. So, proceeding alphabetically, Adam Berger. Please come up, Adam. Come on, come on. Can you get closer? We can get close. That's all right. So, you're getting a degree in bioengineering, and my script says you have a 4.0. That's incredible. So what are your plans? What are you going to do with this 4.0 bioengineering degree?
Next year, I'll be joining an MD PhD program at Harvard MIT.
And after you get your joint degrees there, then what do you plan to do?
After many years of continual training after that, eventually, hopefully, I'll become a professor.
Very good. And so what is it that motivates you, that drives you?
Just the love for what I do, the love for learning, and as soon as I stop learning, that's a very bad day.
You have learned well here at the University of Maryland. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wait a second. So I'm going to give you this bow tie, similar to what I have. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you can replace that red bow tie that you have.
There you go. Thank you.
I want to put a plug for this bow tie because it's actually made by a student in her dorm. She has started a business making bow ties, and I go around during exam time. Doing my cookie patrol, giving out cookies to calm students, who are nervous. And this young woman comes up to me and says, "Thank you for the cookie, and I want to give you a present." And she gives me this bow tie. And I said, "Well, wow, this is lovely. Where did you buy it?" She says, "I make it in my dorm room." So she has started a business. It's UMD.bows. I've sent 400 customers to her already. Enough said. Ian Chen. Hello, Ian. Hello. Well, my notes say that not only do you have an A average, you have an A plus average.
Oh, I do?
Yes, you do. In chemical and biomolecular engineering, I can't even pronounce the term.
Really? It's actually biochemistry.
Oh, it's biochemistry.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter anymore.
So again, what are you going to do with all these degrees?
Actually, funny thing about the A average, Dr. Montag Smith, when he first saw me for the first time, he said, you'll probably get some not A's in your college career, so don't feel too bad about that. But with it, I thought it would be funnier, but...
That's all right. That was funny.
With my degree, I'm going to be taking a gap year and applying to medical school. And then in the meantime, I'm going to be working at Impact International to do some consulting on Medicare and Medicaid.
Very good.
Which hopefully survives.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Aaron Solomon. Well, I think I'm going to stop reciting their GPAs because this is another 4.0 GPA in cell biology and molecular genetics, whatever that is.
I have no idea.
You have no idea either. Very good. So of all your experiences and your activities, what's made the greatest impression on you?
So next week, there's a rocket launching with an experiment that two of my friends out here and I put together to the International Space Station. And finding students at Maryland that are that excited and that curious and that passionate has by far been the best impression from Maryland on me.
Wow. And so this is an actual rocket that's going to go into space?
Yeah, it hopefully won't blow up. We're not sure yet, but...
I hope so either.
Yeah.
And I understand that you went to Bangladesh?
I didn't get to go, but I researched and planned for a medical trip there.
Oh, and why are you going to Bangladesh?
So we were working with Public Health Without Borders here at this university with a bunch of other students to plan interventions for public health, for hand sanitization, for public health food needs over in Bangladesh.
Well, I love it that not only do you do well, but do you do good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Gabrielle Welsh. Congratulations, Gabrielle. And she is a double major in evolutionary biology and dance. So you can imagine what the question is. How do you harmonize biology and dance?
So yes, I'm very interested in conservation biology, so I'd like to perform a bit after school, but I'd like to kind of use dance and the performing arts to travel and promote conservation issues through that.
So what are your long-term plans?
So yeah, dance for a bit, and then probably get a PhD in ecology and evolution and see where it goes from there.
Wonderful.
Do service during
Congratulations. She does not get a bow tie. What she does get is a Maryland scarf. Rachel Zemmel. Congratulations, Rachel.
Thank you.
And I understand you're planning to go to medical school?
Yes, I am.
Speak to the microphone.
Yes, I am.
And you've been engaged in various service projects, including abroad. Can you just say something about that?
Yeah, so I was engaged in a University of Maryland alternative break to Guatemala, where we helped build a school out of sustainable materials. And it was so interesting because you can look at it from so many interdisciplinary standpoints, because it's so important to promote the helping the environment, especially in an area where there's not much information about it, and to promote literacy and learning. But also, when you're helping promote the environment, you're helping improve the air that people breathe, because the #1 cause of death in this area is respiratory illness. So it's amazing how you can do so much and try to do.
It's amazing what
Yeah.
you're doing. You are an inspiration to all of us, Rachel.
Thank you.
So here is a scarf for you. Since you were in Guatemala, did you learn Spanish?
I studied Spanish for 4 years in high school, but I really need to brush up on it.
Okay. Felicitaciones.
Gracias.
These very fine young men and women bring distinction to the university. We're so proud of them. And let's give them all another round of applause. So now let me introduce to you the 2017 University medalist, Greg Ridgway. Congratulations. Now, Greg graduates today with 3 majors: physics, math, and piano performance. Could you please share with us what's the connection, if any, between physics, maths, and playing the piano?
When I get bored of the piano, I do my physics homework. And when I get bored of physics, I do my piano homework. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, there is a great deal of math in music. You know, you have to be able to count to 4 usually, sometimes 3. You have to know how to subdivide. You can ask Raha 2 against 3. We practiced that yesterday. And in physics, I guess you could talk about the harmony of the spheres. You know, there's a lot of, you can apply the thinking of one
Sure.
to the other, just to be a little serious.
Well, very good. And the harmony of the spheres, would you like to say something about that?
I probably
or
shouldn't
more
have said
generally
that,
about,
yeah.
Or more generally about physics?
Yeah, because that's pretty medieval. Yeah, just, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. I'd say it's kind of, it's inspirational to see these giant groups. I mean, you've got Jordan Goodman from Ice Cube. You've got all sorts of people working at CERN, working so hard to just find the incremental new way of looking at the world, to just understand a little bit more and just see how much effort gets put into that. It's inspiring.
Well, I'm sure that in your career you'll inspire us with new ways of viewing the world and listening to music. You are working both sides of your brain. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so here's the bow, and I'm supposed to give you this. Do you know how to open this box? You are.
Yes. Hand it to someone competent.
It takes a poet.
It does take a poet. She thinks.
Not even a poet can do this. How about a baseball player? Can a professional baseball player? Come on.
Here, let's see. Emily Dickinson wrote on the music of the spheres.
All right.
I give up.
We give up. Take it home. Take a hammer and break the box up. So let's take a picture. Somebody's taking a picture. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Every year we also have one senior who's selected by a committee of faculty, staff, and students to give remarks at commencement. And this year, Shu-Pin Yang has been selected. So, Shu-Pin, where are you? Come on up. Now, get a little bit closer. Your parents are somewhere here. Do you know where they are?
No.
Well, wherever the parents are, do you mind just standing up and we will... All right. You must feel very proud of your daughter. We certainly are proud of her to come to this country and to learn English. And you're majoring, again, what you told me, I forgot.
Psychology and theater.
Psychology and theater with a minor in?
German.
In German. Okay. And with that, here is Shu-Pin.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
You want to get this closer to you?
Good afternoon, faculty, students, parents, and friends. I am truly honored and grateful to speak at the commencement for the University of Maryland, class of 2017. People often ask me, why did you come to the University of Maryland? I always answer, fresh air. 5 years ago, as I stepped off the plane from China and left the terminal at Dallas Airport, I was ready to put on one of my 5 face masks. But when I took my first breath of American air, I put my mask away. The air was so sweet and fresh.
and utterly luxurious. I was surprised by this. I grew up in a city in China where I had to wear a face mask every time I went outside. Otherwise, I might get sick. However, the moment I inhaled and exhaled outside the airport, I felt free. No more fog on my glasses, no more difficult breathing, no more suppression. Every breath was a delight. As I stand here today, I cannot help but recall that feeling of freedom. At the University of Maryland, I will soon feel another kind of fresh air, for which I will be forever grateful. The fresh air of free speech. Before I came to the United States, I learned in history class about the Declaration of Independence. But these words had no meaning to me. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I was merely memorizing the words to get good grades. These words sounded so strange, so abstract, and foreign to me, until I came to University of Maryland. I have learned the right to freely express oneself is sacred in America. Each day at Maryland, I was encouraged to express my opinions on controversial issues. I could challenge a statement made by my instructor. I could even rate my professors online. But nothing prepared me for the cultural shock I experienced when I watched a university production of the play Twilight, Los Angeles. Twilight is a play by Anna Deavere Smith about the 1992 Los Angeles riots. The riots follow the acquittal of 4 Los Angeles police officers in the videotaped arrest and beating of Rodney King. For 6 days, the city was in chaos as citizens took to the streets. In Twilight, the student actors were openly talking about racism, sexism, and politics. I was shocked. I never thought such topics could be discussed openly. The play was my first taste of political storytelling, one that makes the audience think critically. I have always had a burning desire to tell these kinds of stories, but I was convinced that only authorities own the narrative. Only authorities could define the truth. However, the opportunity to immerse myself in the diverse community at the University of Maryland exposed me to many different perspectives on truth. I soon realized that here I have the opportunity to speak freely. My voice matters. Your voice matters. Our voices matter. Civil engagement is not a task just for politicians. I have witnessed this when I saw my fellow students marching in Washington, D.C., voting in the presidential election, and raising money to support various causes. I have seen that everyone has a right to participate and advocate for change. I used to believe that one individual's participation could not make a difference. But here we are, united Terps. Together, we can push our society to be more just, open, and peaceful. Class of 2017, we are graduating from a university that embraces a liberal arts education that nurtures us to think critically and also to care and feel for humanity. We are equipped with the knowledge of various disciplines, and we are ready to face the challenges of our society. Some of us may go to graduate school. Some of us may step into professions. And some of us may begin a journey of exploration. But no matter what we do, remember, democracy and free speech should not be taken for granted. Democracy and freedom are the fresh air that is worth fighting for. Freedom is oxygen. Freedom is passion. Freedom is love. And as the French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre once said, freedom is a choice. Our future is dependent on the choices we make today and tomorrow. We are all playwrights of the next chapters of our lives. Together, we write the human history. My friends, enjoy the fresh air and never, ever let it go. Thank you.
Thank you, Chupin. You have gotten a wonderful University of Maryland education. It was most inspiring, and like you and your parents, I also am an American by choice. And you have expressed some of the deepest feelings I feel for this country, why this is and will always be a shining city on the hill, beckoning the most talented people of all backgrounds for all over the world to help us continue to form a more perfect union. Now I have the pleasure of introducing the musical selection Overture for Winds by Felix Mendelssohn, performed by the University of Maryland Wind Ensemble, conducted by Craig Potter. Thank you, University of Maryland Wind Ensemble, for that rousing performance. We are very fortunate to have such talented students in the arts at the University of Maryland. You greatly enrich the cultural life and you touch us with your artistry. Now it's my pleasure to invite the Student Government Association President, Catherine Swanson, who will introduce our commencement speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Lowe. It is my honor to introduce a very special guest, and even better, he's a Terp. Here to help us celebrate the completion of our time at UMD is Mr. Mark Chardy. Mr. Chardy spent his time as a Terp as a player on the UMD baseball team, and he graduated from the university in 1983 with a Bachelor of Science degree in business. Mr. Chardy's postgraduate accomplishments are numerous and impressive. From his time as a professional baseball player for the Milwaukee Brewers to his success in Hollywood as a producer, Mr. Chardy has shown the possibilities for Terps are endless. As the founder and CEO of Apex Entertainment, Mr. Chardy has produced blockbuster movies such as Miracle, which told the story of the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, and Secretariat, about the legendary Triple Crown winning racehorse. Mr. Chardy was also the co-founder of Mayhem Pictures and worked alongside Walt Disney Studios for 12 years, where he produced several films, including The Rookie, $1 Million Arm, and McFarland USA. Though his work has taken him all over the world, we are fortunate that Mr. Chardy has been no stranger to our beloved campus. He has returned to UMD to share with fellow Terps guidance, expertise, and advice. As a participant in the Dingman Speaker Series at the Robert H. Smith School of Business, Mr. Chardy also serves on the university's Board of Trustees. Now, with Mr. Chardy's background, it's only appropriate that you get to see a trailer before his speech. Please enjoy this short video to help us welcome our esteemed speaker to the podium.
From the mound to the movies, the journey of an all-star baseball player.
Here's the 1-2. Struck him out!
His amazing career from the University of Maryland to the hills of Hollywood, bringing to life some of the most inspiring movies of our time.
You're guaranteeing that this horse is going to win the Triple Crown. Hasn't been done in 25 years.
Welcome to Special Teams, gentlemen.
There's nothing you can't do with that kind of strength, with that kind of heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. We can beat these guys.
The University of Maryland presents your 2017 commencement speaker, founder and CEO of Apex Entertainment, Mark Chardy.
This is about life, being ahead of you, and you run at it.
This is your time. Now go out there and take it. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Chardy.
I'm going to have to put these glasses on, but that's a tough thing to follow right there. I want to thank Catherine, Wallace Lowe, the Regents, everyone seated behind me, and the Golden Terps. I like that. Goes quick, doesn't it? So I will put these glasses on. I know that today is for the students, but I want the students to give their parents a round of applause for all they've sacrificed to get them here. So how about this arena? How many of you have enjoyed games in here? You guys had a good time? No university has rained down more abuse on visiting schools than Maryland. I was at the Purdue game this year, and it was very impressive to say the least. I mean, the amount of research that goes into some of that is impressive. But announcers would constantly praise us for having the best atmosphere and loudest building to play in. And I know they're right. So I grew up in Piscataway, New Jersey. And here today are my sisters Cindy and Kim, my brother Scott, as well as my mother Pat, my son Hayden, and my beautiful wife Leanne, up in that box. My dad, who had a tremendous impact on me, passed away about 4 years ago, and I'm sure he would have enjoyed today's event, so I give it in his honor. My parents put 4 kids through the University of Maryland, starting with my oldest sister, Cindy. I remember helping my dad drop her off at Maryland in August of 1975. Baseball was always a big part of my life, and like every little kid, I had dreams of playing in the major leagues. While in high school, I was being recruited by Coach Jack Jackson from the University of Maryland. I was fortunate enough to receive a scholarship offer and was off to College Park. I got to campus and was told I'd be living in a place called Ritchie Coliseum. It sounded great, and my parents and I pulled into the back entrance. There was a small red door and a few windows. It wasn't fancy. Little did I know I was about to become a Ritchie rat, an odd collection of wrestlers, swimmers, and baseball players that resided there and made the film Animal House seem tame. We walked up the stairs and I detoured into the bathroom, then realized there were no doors on the stalls or seats on the toilets. I flushed and heard a blood-curdling scream emanate out of the shower. I made an enemy within the first minute of arriving, but I remembered not to flush after that with someone in the shower. And that's a true story. I saw my mom tearing up, but it was probably more out of concern for my living situation than actually missing me. As I drove off into the distance, I realized that I was on my own, and for the first time, I felt like an adult. I ended up loving my years at Ritchie, going to school, playing baseball, and was fortunate enough to have found success in both my freshman and sophomore years. Everything seemed to be lining up. Right before the start of my junior season, thoughts of being drafted by a pro team were in reach. Then on a cold January day, I was playing a game of pickup basketball and heard a pop in my ankle. I later realized I had torn my ligaments, and in a flash, everything changed. Ankle reconstruction surgery ended my year and quite possibly my career. I was facing real adversity for the first time in my life and unable to play any baseball for 6 months. My identity lost. I didn't want my dream to end with a twisted ankle. I became the reluctant underdog in my own unfolding story. I had to find a way to pitch again and wasn't going to go down without a fight. Hard work and determination helped fuel my comeback. After recovering, my senior year it went pretty well, but my ultimate dream was still in doubt. Now cut to 1983 in Byrd Stadium, and like you, I'm graduating from the University of Maryland and wondering what's next in my life. 3 weeks later, I was drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers in the 15th round. When the call came in, my dad answered and with a big smile handed me the phone. We shared in the incredible news that not many kids get to have. I was now a professional baseball player and received a whopping $2,500 signing bonus, gas money to Paintsville, Kentucky, and $600 a month salary. Since they didn't have much invested in me, I again felt like an underdog. I sat on the bench night after night until another pitcher on the team named Jim Morris got hurt. Try to remember that name. I filled in, threw a shutout, and was never out of the starting rotation for the rest of my career. In the following years, I worked my way up, and in 1987, made the opening day roster as a starting pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers. My boyhood dream was fulfilled as I ran onto the field on an early April day to pitch against the Boston Red Sox. Emotions raced through me as I jogged to the mound, and I especially thought of my dad and all he did for me. The endless games of catch, the car rides he and my mom logged to and from games. I got a major league win against the Orioles in Baltimore and was able to share that evening with many of my college friends and family. It was an amazing night. Unfortunately, my baseball career ended shortly after due to a shoulder injury, but I quickly picked myself up and prepared for the next challenge in my life. In 1998, I moved to Los Angeles to start a new career. A good friend of mine had wanted to get in the film business but couldn't get hired because he had no experience and was 32 years old. He calls and asks if I want to join him. Seemed like a great idea. Two guys with no experience at all in filmmaking. For the next 2 years, we worked out of a garage and pretty much taught ourselves the business through trial and error, mostly error. During the summer, it would get so hot, we worked with the garage door open. When the phone rang, we would race to close it so the cars roaring by wouldn't be heard. It was either melt or not be able to hear. We would live at Kinko's and deliver scripts to whoever would read them. I was putting what money I had into a business with no return. Here we go again, long odds and no one thinking we could do it. After a couple of years and not much to show for it, we caught a break. I'm sitting in the doctor's office and reading a little half-page article in Sports Illustrated about a 35-year-old science teacher in West Texas who was also the high school baseball coach. He would pitch batting practice to his team day after day, trying to inspire them to succeed and reach for their dreams. Finally, the kids made a deal that if they won districts, which they had never won, he'd have to go for a pro tryout. Of course, they win, and now the coach has to go for this tryout with his 3 young kids in tow. He finds out he's throwing 98 miles an hour at an age when most players think about retiring. He was signed on the spot. The article goes on to say that years ago he had pitched in the minor leagues for a short time and signed in 1983 with the Brewers. I realized that's when I signed. I read his name again, and it was Jim Morris, the guy who I replaced in my first pro start. I'd played with Jim for 3 years until our paths changed and he ended up out of baseball. My partner and I secured the rights for Walt Disney Studios, and that movie became The Rookie with Dennis Quaid. I was now on a set producing a film about a guy I knew in a sport I loved. Before the movie came out, we got a call. It was from the White House. We were asked to screen the film for President Bush and the First Lady. As the movie played, I sat behind the president and reflected on how this all happened. What started in a doctor's office ended up at the White House. Audiences really connected with The Rookie, and this led to my next film, arguably the greatest underdog story in American sports history, Miracle. Let's go back to the University of Maryland. It's February 1980, me in Ritchie Coliseum watching the Winter Olympics, and an American hockey team playing a game against the unbeatable Soviet Union. Over chants of USA, USA, we all sat stunned watching what was unfolding. To think that 23 years later, I'd be making a film about these events would be impossible to comprehend. The Americans were coached by Herb Brooks and played by Kurt Russell. The U.S. team was made up of young college players, while the Soviets had possibly the greatest team ever assembled. Before the first game of the Olympics, Herb tells his players, "This cannot be a team of common men. Common men go nowhere. You have to be uncommon." Remarkably, our boys go on a roll, and now they have to play against a Russian team they can't possibly beat. In his pregame speech, Herb says, "Great moments are born from great opportunity. And tonight, you're the greatest hockey team in the world." The Americans beat the mighty Russians in a game known as Miracle on Ice and went on to win the gold medal. In the films that followed, I had the pleasure of working with Invincible with Mark Wahlberg, Secretariat with Diane Lane, $1 Million Arm with John Hamm, and McFarlane USA with Kevin Costner. All underdogs who go on to triumph over tremendous adversity. So what is it that makes a great movie? It starts with finding a great story, obviously, but that doesn't always result in a great movie. There has to be conflict and obstacles for our hero to overcome. There's always a point in the story at the end of the second act where all is lost. The third act becomes the resolution, the emotional climax of any good film. If you do it well, and you go on a journey with your actors, then magic can happen. Because of my own journey, I guess I've always been able to relate to these films, and you know what, who doesn't like a Hollywood ending? Kevin Plank's Under Armour has a wonderful slogan, humble and hungry. Kevin's a friend and someone I truly admire. We both were athletes here at Maryland, and both of us started in a garage. He was relentless in his pursuit to make his dream a reality. He often spoke to me about the obstacles he had to overcome in his life. So how do I define this great university and its students? It's words like fearless, scrappy, entrepreneurial, and innovative. This hasn't changed since I went here, and it's driven former students to create companies like Under Armour, Google, and Oculus. Einstein once said, "Creativity is intelligence having fun." So take your intelligence and let it do something fun and fantastic. Your lives have such promise and endless optimism. If you can inspire yourself, you will inspire others. Look around at the things that happen in your everyday life and see what moves you. My family was on campus last year since we put together a scholarship for student veterans. Thank you. Hearing some of their stories moved me to tears. As I sat there listening, I thought about my father, who was a captain in the Marines and incredibly proud to serve his country, as well as put all 4 of his children through a university that meant so much to him. It would be my honor to follow in his footsteps and have my own boys, Hayden and Luke, attend Maryland as well. They have a little bit of time. Preparing for this event has allowed me to reflect on this school and what it's meant to me over the years. My closest friends today come from this campus. It's said that one is measured by the friends he keeps. The friends you made at this wonderful school will be with you the rest of your life through ups and downs, the triumphs and heartaches. Try and go back 4 years. Remember the day your parents dropped you off as young freshmen. Try to think about all the fantastic experiences and stories you've had on this campus, friends you've made, bonds you've formed. The University of Maryland will always be your home. Treat it well over the years, stay engaged, and please support it when you find your own successes. In closing, try to always think of yourselves as an underdog, since this will always serve you well. Be fearless in your own pursuits, but remember to be kind to people along the way. Life won't be easy, but how you handle adversity will define you. Please go out and find something that you love to do and believe that you can change the world. Think of your life as a movie and make it worth watching. Again, I'll leave you with a quote from the movie Miracle. This is your time, so go out there and take it. Congratulations, class of 2017, and good luck.
Mr. Chari, thank you so much for that inspiring address. I'd like to present you with a gift on behalf of the graduating class.
Thank you very much.
Mark, do you mind taking a selfie?
Absolutely.
Can you do it?
I got it.
All right.
All right.
We gotta get that.
Everyone get it?
No, we want the audience.
Oh,
in the back.
everyone, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not going to do any tweeting in the course of this commencement exercise. I'll tweet it afterwards. So thank you, Mark, for your very inspiring address. I think you've captured the spirit, the ethos of what it means to be a Terp. We have this underdog mentality. We persevere, we take risks, and that's why we succeed. So, Mark, I think you have hit a home run with your speech. I now call on Wanda Alexander, President of the University of Maryland Alumni Association, to welcome our graduates into the ranks of our alumni.
Good afternoon, class of 2017. It is first of all my honor to follow Shuping and Mark. I am more inspired in this very moment than I have been in a long time, and I pray that each of you have been inspired by what they said. Earlier today, I was in a very passionate conversation and, trying to exhibit my passion. I sort of pounced on the table and broke my eyeglasses. So, I have to wear shades so I can read. But let me explain one thing to you. There are no coincidences in life. See, I need to wear these shades today because your futures are so bright. Okay? And I also have to stand here before the amazing golden Terps in their golden gowns who have shown us that our futures are truly bright after leaving this amazing university. So my job this afternoon is to officially welcome you, the amazing, bright class of 2017, into the Maryland Alumni family. I want you to know that beginning today and for the absolute rest of your life, that you will live thriving, not surviving, correct? You will be part of an amazing network of powerful, eclectic, fun, hardworking alumni, more than 350,000 strong. That's a whole lot of folk. Yeah. See, many of our alumni, like you, will have risen to some of the highest levels of their industries. You just heard from one today. They've launched hugely successful companies and made groundbreaking discoveries. So I just want to share about a few of your alumni with you. Lisa Anders, class of 1995. She oversaw the construction of the Smithsonian Institution's National Museum of African American History and Culture. Yeah. But that's not all. Lisa also worked on the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, and her next feat, are you ready for this? She is going to be helping to plan former President Barack Obama's presidential library in Chicago. Fearless, fearless. So let's talk about Scott Nash. He's the class of 1987. He turned a niche grocery delivery service, which he launched out of his mother's garage, into the retail powerhouse that you know as Mom's Organic Market. Fearless. And let's talk about Jeanette Epps. Let's talk about Jeanette. Don't miss this. Class of 1994 and class of 2000, next May, a year from now, she will lift off aboard a Russian rocket to become the first African American and University of Maryland graduate to live and work as a crew member on the International Space Station. Seriously, guys, if I had a mic, I would have dropped it right there. Lisa, Scott, and Jeanette are just a few examples of University of Maryland alumni who are living up to our fearless legacy. You too, and please believe this, you too will one day leave a path of greatness for others to follow. Now, the single first step to such a lasting contribution is to stay connected to your university and become a member of the University of Maryland Alumni Association. We are here to help you stay active, and we do that, through tailgates and performances and happy hours and career networking events. We want you to stay connected with Maryland and all of these amazing friends that you've made here on campus. And we also want you to always stay informed about the amazing things that each of you and your fellow alumni are doing through alumni publications like TERP magazine. As you leave here today, I only have one request. Please display your degree proudly and continue the tradition of demonstrating to this world the high quality education that degree represents. In turn, I promise you that Maryland will continue to make you proud to be a Terp, and remember, no matter where you go in life, always stay fearless.
Thank you, Wanda. Thank you for reminding us of these incredible Terps, these alumni who make us proud and make our state and our nation great. And thank you, too, for leading our Alumni Association. The late Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall once said, quote, "None of us got to where we are solely by pulling ourselves up by our own bootstraps." You're smart, you're educated, you're talented, you're dedicated, you've worked very hard, so we're very proud of you. But talented and dedicated as you are, nobody is entirely self-made. Somebody bent down, helped you put on your boots, loved you, supported you, encouraged you, and believed in you. That's somebody, a parent, relative, friend, a spouse. Because of them, you are here today. So, I would like to ask that we proceed in the following 3 steps. And I'm trying to choreograph this. In the first step, don't do it yet, I'm just choreographing it. Parents, relatives, and friends, I want you to stand up when I tell you. Then I want the second step, I want the graduates to stand up and you applaud them. And the third step, at that time, the band will play a salute. So, step 1, parents, relatives, and friends, please stand up. Step 2, graduates, please stand up and salute them. Step 3, then the band can play. Thank you. In addition to honoring your relatives and parents and spouses, there was another purpose. I've always been told that sitting is the new smoking. So I thought it was time for you to get up. And now we've come to the moment you've all been waiting for, and that's for the deans of your respective colleges to recognize you for the presentation of your degrees. I'm going to ask each dean to step forward one at a time, introduce themselves, introduce your college, And of course, with their usual flair and rhetorical flourish and exuberance, they will describe what their college is. And then, of course, I invite you, the graduates, to stand up and cheer when your college is announced.
Will the candidates for the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources please stand up? Good evening. My name is Craig Beyruti, and I'm honored to serve as the Dean of the oldest college on campus, the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources, and I'm honored to represent our faculty and staff on this stage today. Students, you're graduating from an institution chartered over 160 years ago, originally named the Maryland Agriculture College. You may not know this, but the University of Maryland at College Park is a proud member of an elite system of institutions found nowhere else in the world, the land-grant system, where the world's brightest minds have assembled to prepare each of you for an exciting and impactful career. Our college couldn't be more proud of you, our graduate students, who have dedicated your lives to eliminate hunger, to protect and conserve our valuable natural resources, and to ensure we have a roof over our heads, clothes on our backs, and food in our stomachs. There are no nobler professions than those chosen by our graduates. You're graduates of one of the finest research and land-grant institutions in the world. Congratulations to our newest college alums, and go Terps.
Good afternoon. I'm Sonia Hurd, and I'm the Dean of the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation. Our graduates are innovators who seek to improve the built environment. Put differently, they strive to make the world around us. And I mean this literally, not just metaphorically. They make the world around us, from the brick to the building, and from the neighborhood to the city and the region. This mission to make the world comes with a great responsibility. Through their visions and actions, our graduates create beauty. They improve the public's health and quality of life. They respect diverse cultures, and they contribute to a prosperous and just economy. They preserve the natural environment. As true terrapins, they strive to leave only tiny footprints on our planet Earth, because, as many know, good planets are hard to find. Will the graduates of the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation please stand up and cheer?
Good afternoon. I'm Bonnie Thornton-Dill, Professor of Women's Studies and the proud Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities, affectionately known as RHU. Graduates from our college learn that their voices matter. They are global visionaries and creative problem solvers. They have the skills and the talents employers seek, and they write because they write well, they read critically, they listen actively, they communicate effectively, and they think creatively. They are culturally aware and linguistically adept. They are world wise. And because they are all of these wonderful things, 95% of last year's graduates were placed in jobs, graduate schools, service programs, or started their own businesses. 95% of arts and humanities majors. So graduates, you have a lot to be proud of, and if you are RHU, please stand up and give yourself congratulations.
Good afternoon. I'm Wayne McIntosh, Associate Dean of the College of Behavioral and Social Sciences. President Lowe, I present to you the candidates for degrees from BSOS. Home to 10 departments and 5 centers, including programs in criminology, geographical sciences, psychology, African American studies, anthropology, sociology, and government and politics. In other words, our graduates will keep you safe, tell you where you are, help you figure out how to be happy, help you understand our diverse nation, and help you understand our politics. What more could you ask for? Graduates, stand up.
I'm Alex Trianis, the proud Dean of the Robert H. Smith School of Business. Will the graduates of the Smith School of Business please rise? These talented women and men are the future business leaders in the United States and hopefully globally. They will lead with integrity, with a global mindset, with an entrepreneurial spirit, and they will create innovative solutions to the complex problems facing business, the economy, and society. And they will do this collaboratively, working together, hopefully, with all the rest of you and all the TERP alums out there. For Mark Chardy, our great alum here, let me say the following. These are the rookies with $1 million minds who will create miracles while being nice. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. I'm Jayant Banavar, the proud Dean of the College of CMNS. Will the graduates of the College of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences please stand? Standing in front of us are the creative scientists who will change the world. They will improve medical care, they will save lives, they will help understand the physical world around us, they will help understand planet Earth and our universe, and they will create the innovative technologies of tomorrow. Congratulations, graduates.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Donna Wiseman, and I am the proud Dean of the College of Education. Our graduates teach, lead, counsel, and research about children, youth, and adults in our schools, communities, colleges, and other educational institutions. The work of the graduates of the College of Education has never been more important for the educational, social, and psychological well-being of our nation as it is at this moment. So, will the newly minted teachers, school leaders, counselors, university professors, and researchers, those 2017 spring graduates of the College of Education, stand up and be congratulated.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am Darrell J. Pines, and I am the Dean of the A. James Clark School of Engineering. Will the graduates of the Clark School please rise and be recognized? President Lowe and distinguished guests, engineers create solutions for the benefit of people and humanity. These are the students who will solve the problems related to clean energy. These are the students who will solve the problems for autonomous vehicles. These are the students who will fly from Los Angeles and design systems from Los Angeles to San Francisco on Hyperloop trains that can get there in 30 minutes. These are the students who will design hypersonic aircraft that can go from New York to Los Angeles in an hour. Graduates, I have a few questions for you. Do you have passion? Are you willing to take risks? Do you have incredible dreams? And finally, are you fearless? To the graduates, and in the words of Xu Ping, go out and breathe that fresh air and change the world. Congratulations.
Hello, everyone. Dean Boris Lushniak. I'm the rookie here. 132 days, honored and humbled to be the Dean of the School of Public Health. So we talked about what? We talked about the bright future all of you have. But that future is not going to take place unless you cherish what? Your health. So I'm going to give you that 30-second health exercise right now, right? We're going to define health. 10 seconds. Silence, close your eyes, and feel the love and the pride in this room. Clear that mind, make it feel good. 10 seconds of that. Now, 10 seconds, say hello to the person to the left and right of you for 10 seconds, right? This is what we're all about. We're about interacting. President Lowe. And the final 10 seconds. This is a place where incredible sporting things happen. Let's all pretend we're shooting that three-pointer in the last second of a game. Choose your hoop. Parents, family, everybody, move those arms, move them. And it's going through, it's swishing in, it's out there. We've just won the game. Because what we've defined in this 30-second exercise is the definition of health. Health is the complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. Cherish your health, graduates. Family members support each other in that pursuit of health. Graduates of the School of Public Health, get up, please. And your job, graduates, is to continue to prevent disease, to promote health, and to prolong life. Thank you so much. Do incredible things out there.
One should never follow Dean Beiruti. I'm sorry, Lushniak. My name is Keith Marzullo, and I'm the Dean of the College of Information Studies. Can the new graduates of Maryland's iSchool please stand? Our students are trained in transforming data into information, into knowledge, into insight, into action. They know how to visualize complex information, how to use information and technology to help individuals and organizations make changes. The iSchool, as we've done for decades now, continue to graduate exceptional students who go on to leadership positions in libraries, in archives, and museums. But we also graduate future user experience designers, data analysts, information architects, cybersecurity disaster recovery specialists, usability analysts, data records and database designers, and information entrepreneurs. Our people, we all turn information into power to unlock our full potential. Congratulations to the iSchool graduates.
Good afternoon. I'm Lucy Dalglish, Dean of the Philip Merrill College of Journalism. Would the Merrill College graduates please stand? The way some people perceive journalism has changed dramatically since you enrolled 4 years ago. A year ago, none of us had ever heard the term fake news. Credentialed journalists had not been arrested at press conferences held by cabinet secretaries. A president of the United States had never declared journalists to be the enemy of the people. But you are smart, ethical, and hardworking. You are not anyone's enemy. You have learned to dig for the truth, report it fairly, and correct your mistakes. Don't ever let anyone tell you that what you do is not at the core of the American dream. Citizens are relying on you to provide the information they need to make the decisions about how we will live together in this complicated, glorious, democratic society. Congratulations.
Hello, I'm Robert Orr, Dean of the School of Public Policy, and I ask the graduates of the School of Public Policy to please stand and be recognized. Graduates, you have spent your time here delving deeply into the world's very real problems and very real solutions. From addressing growing inequality in our society to harnessing the tools of science and technology to solve public needs, to addressing climate change, you have already begun to make your mark serving the public good. And you have led the charge to make the country's first do-good campus a reality for countless people here in Prince George's County, in the great state of Maryland, in Washington, D.C., and around the world. And like our colleagues in journalism, you have done this all the while our field is redefining itself in the face of ever-growing demands. The work you have done and will continue to do matters now more than ever. I am moved by your commitment to public service. Continue to be the drivers of the change that everyone in this auditorium needs. Congratulations, Policy Terps.
Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Franke, and as the interim dean of the graduate school, it is my great honor and privilege to introduce those students who here are receiving advanced degrees. So will those students receiving a master's degree from any of the 12 colleges please rise and be recognized? Congratulations. Now, you can be seated. We will welcome our newest scholars. Will those who have earned the doctoral degree please stand and be recognized for obtaining the highest academic degree? I congratulate you all for being the generators of new knowledge, the producers of and appliers of this knowledge. Congratulations and go forth.
Good afternoon. I'm William Cohen, Dean for Undergraduate Studies.
The Office of Undergraduate Studies sponsors programs that reach every student. We oversee the Honors College, College Park Scholars, the Academic Achievement Programs, Letters and Sciences, and many other programs that extend across the whole campus, including the General Education Program through which all undergraduates take classes in a variety of subject areas. Today, we recognize those graduates for whom the 90 majors offered at this university did not suffice. These fearless students designed their own rigorous interdisciplinary majors in the Individual Studies program. Would the bachelor degree recipients in individual study majors please rise to be recognized?
Good afternoon. I'm Babak Hamidzadeh, the Interim Dean of Libraries, and I would like to welcome you and congratulate you on this wonderful occasion. I would also like to acknowledge and congratulate my own daughter who is graduating here today and is among you. Yes, very proud. So you're probably wondering what a Dean of Libraries or who a Dean of Libraries would call to stand up. Well, I got to tell you, at the libraries, we consider all of you our students. So, would all the students who ever went to the libraries or used library resources anywhere or should have done so, please rise and give yourself a very big round of applause.
Thank you, Deans. And now you see why we are such an exceptional university. We have incredible leadership in our colleges with these wonderful deans. And so the moment has arrived. The moment you've been waiting for when you are officially authorized to receive your degrees. And so the provost will, in a moment, announce dozens, scores of degrees and diplomas, but maybe I should take just 1 minute to tell you what the meaning of these diplomas are. You see, when you are in high school and you think that you know everything there is to know, that's when you get a high school diploma. Then you come to college. And then you realize that there's so much you do not know, so much more you need to learn. When that dawns upon you, that is when you earn a bachelor's degree. And if you hang around a little bit longer, and it further dawns upon you that not only do you know very little, that there's so much more to learn, but that your professors know very little. That is when the university bestows upon you the PhD degree. You see, what is education but the progressive discovery of our own ignorance? As the poet Yeats said, education is not the filling of a pail. Education is igniting a flame, a passion for learning that will last a lifetime. And if we have done our jobs as teachers at this university, you the graduates will be students for life. So now I call upon Provost Ranking to come forward and present the candidates for the degrees.
Mr. President, in accordance with the recommendation of the faculties of the schools and colleges, and in recognition of the successful completion of all degree requirements, I request that you confer upon these candidates the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Music Education, Bachelor of Science, Master of Applied Anthropology, Master of Architecture, Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of Chemical and Life Sciences, Master of Community Planning, Master of Education, Master of Engineering, Master of Engineering and Public Policy, Master of Finance, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Health Administration, Master of Historic Preservation, Master of Information Management, Master of Journalism, Master of Landscape Architecture, Master of Library and Information Science, Master of Music, Master of Professional Studies, Master of Public Health, Master of Public Management, Master of Public Policy, Master of Real Estate Development, Master of Science, Doctor of Audiology, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Musical Arts, and Doctor of Philosophy, as appropriate in each case. Will all candidates for all degrees please stand? Congratulations, graduates. Go Terps.
I am pleased to accept the faculty's recommendations on the authority granted by the State of Maryland to the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, and by the authority that the Board has delegated to me. I am thrilled to confer upon you, the candidates, the degrees as appropriate in each case. Please join me in one more big round of applause for today's graduates. I would like to ask all the graduating seniors on the platform here to come up and lead our graduates in the long-standing tradition that recognizes the receipt of your degrees. And in the sacred rite, Ms. Swanson, will you please lead us?
Okay, so I'm going to lead you guys in moving our tassel from the right to the left, but can I get a drum roll first, please? All right, 1, 2, 3. Hey.
Congratulations, you may be seated. So, these are our new Terps, new graduated Terps. But to the family members, friends of the graduates who are here, I would just like to see a show of hands. How many of you graduated from the University of Maryland or have other family members who graduated from the University of Maryland? In fact, why don't you stand up so we can see you? Wow, that is quite a few. I mean, there are Terp genes in this Xfinity Center. My guess is about at least a third, maybe 40% are Terps. So what do we do about all those who are not graduates? Well, by the authority vested in me as president of this university, I hereby confer upon you today the title of Honorary Terp. So here At Xfinity, we are all Terps, and in a moment, Raha and the Maryland Wind Ensemble will lead us in the singing of the Alma Mater, and those words can be found on page 62 of your program. But I would like to simply go through those words with you. I'm going to rewrite it a little bit, but I would like to recite the Alma Mater. And when I raise my arm like this, I want you to yell as loudly as you can so that the walls of Xfinity Center begin to shake. I want you to yell Maryland. Hail, Alma Mater, hail to thee. Steadfast in loyalty, we stand for love for the black and gold, deep in our hearts we hold, singing thy praises forever throughout. Go Terps, go! Please stand up for the singing of the Alma Mater. Please be seated. We now come to the conclusion of the Spring Commencement exercises for 2017. I will ask that the audience please remain seated until the faculty and the platform party have recessed. And I know that there are some college commencement programs scheduled for tomorrow, and you may want to check your programs for those. By the way, these smaller college commencement programs that occur on Saturday and will occur tomorrow are very, very nice events because they're a little bit smaller. There's more of a family atmosphere. And I always used to love them when I used to be a dean. And because I would get to shake the hands of every single graduate. And so I hope you do that at your smaller commencement exercises tomorrow. And I remember when I was a dean, one day at one of these alumni events, this alumnus came up to me and said, "Mr. Lowe, do you remember me?" He says, "When I walked across the stage at my graduation, you handed me my diploma, and at that time, you whispered something into my ear. And what you whispered has been the secret to my success in life." I said, "Really?" What did I say? You said, "Move along, move along." I will be at the pavilion. That's where you all assembled. That's where volleyball games are held and so forth. And I will be there. I'd be happy to shake the hands of anybody who would like to come, and also give out a turtle pin. Now, I am always surprised to discover how many students are here for 4 years and still have not gotten their pin. So I will be there, happy to shake your hand, give you a turtle pin, and if you like, we can do a selfie together. You can even include your parents, your family in the picture. And for those of you who are not familiar about these turtle pins, and because you're all honorary Terps, you also can get a turtle pin from me. It's a little gold pin. It costs only 75 cents. But you should know it is priceless because you can't buy it anywhere. You can only get it from the president. But I have only one request. If you do get it, please do not do what some of our very entrepreneurial students do. Some of them are putting it on eBay. Last time I looked, they were going for $18. If you save them over time, they'll be worth far more than that. And so I would like to conclude by very briefly summarizing for you, because I think it's always good to hear from the voices of the students what their experience at the University of Maryland means. And so what I did a few weeks ago is I tweeted, and I said, would you please tweet in 7 words or less your experience? And I will take some of them and share it with you at commencement. Now, not to embarrass anyone, I will only mention first names, but let me just mention a few of them. I got well over 100, and I'm only going to mention 6 or 7. From Lorena. Your experience in 7 words or less. A place where I never stopped learning. Lorena again. She sent 2. Memories that will last me a lifetime. Mitchell. The best 4 years of my life. By the way, Mitchell, let me tell you, with your degree, the best years of your life are still ahead of you. Christina. Flew 5,000 miles for this. Worth everything. So I assume, Christina, you probably came from beyond continental United States if you had to fly 5,000 miles, and we always welcome international students here. Dalia. This school will always be home. Well, Dalia, let me tell you, this home, this university, will always be here for you. Jesse. My life and outlook changed forever. Rachel. Not ready to leave my new home. And finally, and by the way, Rachel, just remember, you always carry your Terp family with you, no matter where you go. And finally, Sarah, who's tweeted something very similar. She actually asked me a question. Why? Why are you making me graduate? So I thought I would conclude by sharing with you why you're graduating and why you need to leave the University of Maryland. And I will do so by quoting from the words, the immortal words of that great philosopher, Dr. Seuss, who wrote for children of all ages. Oh, the places you'll go, you're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. Now here I'm going to digress for a second, but sadly I would add, it is true that hang-ups can happen to you. There will be times when you will mix up your right foot with your left foot, when your arms get sore, when your sneakers leak. But always remember you are a terp. What does that mean? The terrapin is that unique creature in the waterways of the Chesapeake Bay and in other wetlands that has that unique characteristic. That turtle can only walk forwards, that turtle cannot walk backwards. And that is a metaphor for what being a terp is. To be a terp is a state of mind. To be a terp is moxie. To be a terp is to have grit. To be a terp is to, that favorite Yiddish word I love, is to have chutzpah. So you go forth as terps, one step at a time, sticking your neck out, thinking big, aiming high, taking risks. Because you are a terp. And generations of terps with that can-do attitude had led lives of accomplishment, commitment, and service. So back to quoting Dr. Seuss. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. You have already. You are a terp. You got your degree. So today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So go on your way. God bless you, and Godspeed.